Welcome back to another insightful discussion here on the Champions Path, the platform for all things simulation and training based, designed for our champions in the military, law enforcement, and other critical first responder roles. Speaking with me today is Todd Langley, a military man. I'm here with Mick Byrne, co-founder of Emergy-Sim, Greg Williams, and Brian Marin. Chip Northrup, owner, founder of Lead Tech. I'm here with Kim Hopwood to discuss Operator XR. Tim Pierce, CEO and founder of AU Fire. I'm here today with Chipu Dai, world famous Lisanne Klygru.
It's predominantly designed around CQB for military use. You can run in a team, you can run force on force.
What I think it means in terms of the high stakes chess capabilities is understanding the orders of impact of your decisions.
And just like you had brought up, you're training for the worst scenario, and not every encounter requires that injury response. But with AU Fire, law enforcement, military, security individuals can be prepared with the experience of the stresses.
We're messing with their fundamental value system to say, all right, provide this person with as much care, make them as comfortable as possible for as long as required. That's what first responders do. But we're also in the zone of mass casualty. You've got to throw that out a little bit and just say, look, right, the life-saving interventions are done. I have to move on to the next person.
The efforts that are going into setting up these trainings are amazing, and it requires so many resources. Is there a way that we can maybe make this a little bit easier or different? And that's where virtual reality came in as a training solution to save some resources and also to simulate a variety of different situations. Because particularly here in Europe with different law enforcement agencies, we see that scenario-based training in real life is so resource intense and time consuming that a lot of times we don't get the training benefits out of it that we should.
What's the problem is that the situation's already unfolding in front of you, and you're responding, and you're not influencing the situation. And all humans have the ability to influence every situation that they're in.
By just taking that chess match and showing all of the interoperability that's going on there and all the variables. Now, you're saying, but we can't do that because the police officers, you can't do that, but police officers race to a scene with lights and sirens, jump out, and are handed a binary decision.
And we've seen the violence and lethality of drones, especially in Ukraine. We've seen them being used by the Islamic State and weaponizing drones. We've also seen an increase of surveillance, reconnaissance, smuggling, and other criminal activities with drones that law enforcement has been combating.
I think through natural language processing or machine learning and different psychological models behind the virtual humans, it's definitely adding those realism and immersive effects to the interactions to users in comparison to the traditional adaptive learning. And the algorithm can be also more interactive in terms of their functionality.
How do we shorten that window, and what does it look like in analysis compared to what's called the golden hour, which gives you the greatest chances of survivability statistically?
We've seen in our research that VR can be a valuable training and learning tool, but it has to be implemented well, and it has to be implemented with the right intention, has to be implemented with care. And there's so many things that you need to consider before even starting to purchase a VR product that you're interested in. And that really needs to align with the gap that you're trying to fill in your real life training.
From my perspective, this design is on the forefront of redefining traditional medical training models, this master and apprentice style of learning.
There is a value in the shared wisdom and experience of those who've gone before you. We can also take stories, experiences, and turn them into VR learning experiences that can be now shared with thousands more people.
And in the VR headset, you not only do you simulate the target, but you also simulate the aim point.
The first question is there value in agencies exploring options in integrating virtual reality into their training environments? Imagine you're in a different country, and to be successful in your mission, you need to build relationships with important local people.
There are different applications to train different soft skills. So those soft skills are really suitable to be trained when they are interacting with virtual entities.
So there is that kind of intrinsic understanding. These people can die on you in the simulation if you don't get them at least off the scene as rapidly as possible with your critical decisions.
And look, you and I can be taught any skill and we can understand it from a theoretical sense. But until we're pressure tested around that skill, it's like, again, it's a theoretical application. And some people pick things up quicker than others. But the idea that, again, this is an enhancement to existing training. So we'll do our physical simulation via mannequins. We'll have a whiteboard process. We'll have a mnemonic in our head of what is our process to go through. But now let's give you the chance to pressure test it and apply what you've learned. And there will be feedback to learn.
What I mentioned earlier is I've asked two of the simulator companies to create scenarios specifically for AU fire so that the suspect keeps shooting at you until you hit him. But on his first round, when he shoots his first round at you, that's when the instructor can lock you up with AU fire, force you to return fire, stay in the gunfight offhand until you hit him.
Since this is a very specific muscle memory movement, gun up, cheek to stock, sight picture on target, you really need the gun implement to be as realistic in its dimensions as the gun that's going to be used in the field.
Kind of like the Boyd's OODA loop. It's like, well, we've got this right here. It's like, well, you have to adapt that, and it has to continue to evolve, or it's going to devolve. It's one of the two. And so, that's what we're doing now, right?
Almost about a year and a half ago, we demonstrated through one of our partners, we showed that, hey, you can do incident command level tabletop and functional level exercises, and you can pass data back to a virtual reality of the same environment, the same AI capabilities, but work on individual and team level, tactical and judgment and decision making at that level, and pass information back and forth real time between the two simulations.
And with virtual reality, we were then thinking maybe we can use that as a tool to simulate a variety of different situations safely, and also hopefully a little bit more effectively.
What it is well, at its core, it's a methodology that's reduced to a software that's applicable to 2D, VR, and AR.
If you enjoyed this presentation, I invite you to tune in to join the Champions Path for further insightful discussions with industry leaders and experts from the military and law enforcement simulation community. Just follow the links. Thank you.